Some no doubt dislike living in a common or garden town of open spaces. We don't. We, in Castrop-Rauxel, because we've created fields and woods and garden suburbs under a carefully designed green plan. So successfully, in fact, that our green has turned to gold. Gold medals won in regional and national competitions. Our accolades, for example, include the Schellenberg allotments, which immediately won the judges' acclaim. Or the former slag heap at Graf Schwerin. The experts called in to judge could hardly believe their eyes. The landscape designers had taken a mountain of colliery debris and transformed it into a black forest. Black underneath, forest on top. It might make some people green with envy, but then green has always colored the daily environment of the people of Castrop-Rauxel. Nearly 60% of the city's 52 square kilometers of urban area still retain their natural beauty. For all the trees around, you can easily miss seeing the cooling towers, chimney stacks and factories that make Castrop-Rauxel an industrial city. Not just any industrial city, but an industrial city with wide open spaces. But don't worry, we don't want to excite envy or leave anyone out in the cold. Nor are we out to palm off package tours to the Emscher. We know as well as the next that roses don't sprout from concrete, and that fishing in murky waters won't land you a tasty trout. We don't claim our Canale Grande holds much attraction for gondoliers or playing mandolins in the moonlight. But what Castrop-Rauxel does offer is an attractive alternative to the gaping monotony of today's industrial sprawl. To industrial locations crisscrossed to extinction with roads, streets and railway tracks. Castrop-Rauxel has all the atmosphere of a big city, but it's not overbearing. Industry hasn't run rampant. Ideas are plentiful here, and so are development projects, but they've not robbed the city of its distinctive charm. For 1150 years, ever since the name Castrop first appeared in local records in 834 AD, the people on the banks of the Emscher have refrained from plunging headlong into the rat race of urban development. Even when the town received its charter in 1484, the people of Castrop and its environs still took life as it came, refusing to be rushed over hastily into new historical horizons. And that relaxed, tranquil lifestyle is still very evident today. People here still stop and chat with neighbors in the street. In 1902, Castrop and two rural communities were merged to form the first town of Castrop. The name after the hyphen was added in 1926, when Castrop and 10 other localities joined together to form Castrop-Rauxel. But you can't please everyone. That merger sowed the seeds of local rivalry that still exist to this day. The hyphen in the city's double-barreled name, disliked by the older people and often misused by outsiders, has never really succeeded in bridging the north-south divide between the original proud communities. However, the city fathers countered this typical Westphalian stubbornness with an even more intractable resolve to fuse the 50-year-old patchwork of communities into a single harmonious whole. The green meadow, pitched at the very center of the municipal area, became the hub of Castrop-Rauxel life. It was chosen as the site of the Forum, the symbol of a fresh and promising start for a progressive young town. Knowing that half measures mean money down the drain, the City Council asked architects of international distinction to submit their ideas for this complex and a modern city centre. They finally opted for the Danish architect, Professor Arne Jacobsen, whose bold ski jump roof construction is the first of its kind in the world. The opening in May 1976 ended the makeshift arrangements in the old town hall and eliminated the need to house 24 local government offices at scattered locations throughout the town. The business of shaping the city's future could now get underway, coordinated from a complete, self-contained centre. The municipal authorities could show themselves to be the partners of the people. All administrative services were now in one place, under one roof. In the council chamber, or Ratssaal, and committee rooms, the people's representatives are now accustomed to their new and more pleasant working conditions. The atmosphere in the building, its very design, indeed encourages open-minded discussion, active participation, and sensible readiness to compromise. To compromise when it comes to deciding on the future of the city and its people. Besides council business, the building is also used for conferences and congresses. Completion of the new civic hall, or Stadthalle, has given the city a prestigious cultural and community centre and an attractive conference venue. It offers facilities for all kinds of functions and events, and also attracts organisations and bodies from outside the city walls. The state government of North Rhine-Westphalia, for example, chose to sit here when it voted on the future-oriented programme for the Ruhr in 1979. The interior walls can be moved like partitions, enabling the room to accommodate up to 800 people. The Europa Hall can seat 3 times as many people. Opened with a 3-day festival at the end of March 1984, the magnificent building, in the same ski jump style as the rest of the complex, fits harmoniously in the open forum with its pools and flower beds. Trade fairs, congresses, and television shows have shown the Europa Hall to be an ideal setting for big events. It also caters for sports activities, although not ski jumping, as some jokers have suggested, with the classic Castrop-Rauxel 3-jump event. On the short, the Olympic and flying jump. Clubs and associations, firms and private groups, especially those staging cultural events, are delighted with the new amenities. The Westphalian State Theatre, frequently on tour in other cities in Germany and abroad, is also based in the Civic Hall.
Verschränken Sie die Arme so. Eine minutiöse Änderung, aber der Unterschied ist gewaltig. Vergleichen Sie im Spiegel, Herr Ui.
Es liegt in der Luft eine Stattlichkeit. Es liegt in der Luft und es liegt in der Luft, in der Luft. Es liegt in der Luft was Idiotisches. Es liegt in der Luft was Hypnotisches. Es liegt in der Luft, es liegt in der Luft.
The studio stage and spacious auditorium allows a wide range of productions, from the classics to experimental drama. Castrop-Rauxel doesn't neglect culture. The city promotes local theatre and adult education. It has some fine choirs. And jealously guards its religious traditions. Customs are not preserved here like museum pieces. They've retained their vitality and continually refresh the city's life. Anyone who wants to ensure progress tomorrow has to provide education and training today, with facilities ranging from kindergartens, every type of school, and the second largest institute of Hagen's Open University, to efficient training centers and a locally sponsored training institute. Castrop-Rauxel offers its young people every opportunity to learn and train for future careers. But for children, playtime is equally important, and here they're positively encouraged. When the whole family wants to get away from it all, they have all the options. Parks and gardens, cycle tracks and footpaths extending for miles through fields and woods. Development of local recreation amenities is more than an empty slogan here, more than just wishful thinking. Here, people can really retank their energies after a hard week's work. Or activate limbs that may have lain fallow. Numerous sports clubs offer all sorts of opportunities to stay young and fit, for the professionals or just for fun. Everyone to his own, and something to suit everyone. One Castrop-Rauxel speciality is korfbal, a kind of basketball imported from Holland. Despite all the consideration for the young, the elderly aren't forgotten. The senior citizen plan in Castrop-Rauxel is more than a piece of paper. Housing in Castrop-Rauxel is a chapter on its own, embracing both big development projects and private homes. The houses belie the claim that the city lacks character. Here's proof, for example, that opposites make a happy marriage. New from old. Redevelopment of the old town centre combines the traditional with the modern. Plenty of other towns would relish a blueprint of the model redevelopment project at Ikern West. Its attractive profile and idyllic rural setting are a first that others can only mimic and copy. The people of Castrop-Rauxel know how to live. Their quality of life has real meaning. In fact, the people of Castrop-Rauxel go for quality in everything. On shopping trips through the pedestrian precinct of the old town centre, or through the shopping centres at Habinghorst or Ikern. The shopkeepers and local business people know they have to cater for every taste. Gone are the days when the name of Castrop-Rauxel was synonymous with collieries, coking plants, and and coal miners. The mining industry here once employed more than 16,000 people. No one now earns a living underground. December 1983 saw the closure of the Erin colliery, the last of the 4 local pits, ending a mining tradition dating back to 1866. With such a massive loss of jobs, the economic development staff at City Hall had to rack their brains for new solutions, and by dint of necessity, come up with inventive ideas. With mining gone, the city's other main employers were chemical companies, engineering works, which were also struggling to survive, craft workshops, trade, and the service industry. But these couldn't provide enough jobs to keep pace with demand. A new and different infrastructure emerged. Castrop-Rauxel is a prime location. That was recognized years ago by the Swedes, who now sell cars from here, and by the British, with their industrial textile service, and the North German packaging manufacturers, who cut their product in Castrop-Rauxel with water cannon, without even wetting the cardboard. But it is wet at this hydroculture specialists, where plants are grown without soil. And if the occasion calls for something a bit stronger than water, local distillers are only too willing to oblige. All in all, a sound economic basis for the future, but there's still a lot to do. The city has plenty of serviced industrial sites to offer to interested companies, in all sizes and tailored to every requirement. A skilled workforce is available and lots of goodwill at City Hall. These are reserves you can rely and build on. Castrop-Rauxel's trump card as an industrial development area is its location. It stands at the junction of 3 motorways, has excellent rail connections, borders on the Rhine-Herne Canal, with its marinas and industrial harbours, and it's only a stone's throw, as it were, from Düsseldorf and Dortmund airports. Castrop-Rauxel offers superb connections with the world. It's certainly no metropolis, but it's European in stature. Any doubts on that score were dispelled in 1979 when it won the Theodor Heuss Prize in Munich, a tribute to Castrop-Rauxel's exemplary commitment to international understanding for 3 decades. Castrop-Rauxel, as a city of Europe, maintains close and permanent links with various twin towns outside Germany's borders. With Wakefield in England, Delft in Holland, Vincennes in France, and Kuopio in Finland. The spirit the city shows in maintaining links with partners in Europe shines through in the hospitality it extends to guests and new citizens, even when the response to its friendly gestures may be hesitant and skeptical. Castrop-Rauxel has learned to live with misconceptions, with the time-worn image that is just one more town in the industrial provinces. Castrop-Rauxel doesn't take offense. Those who actually come here to see for themselves quickly realize that reality is very different from ingrained prejudice. Remember that old adage, seeing is believing. So, if you're wondering perhaps whether this has really been a true portrait of the city, come and find out for yourself. Be curious and take a closer look. You won't regret it. And anyway, like us or not, you're sure of a welcome. Castrop-Rauxel looks forward to your visit.